secrets of love. It doesn't matter when open wounds of its loss makes everything start. It doesn't matter when all the bombs in my head go off all at once. It doesn't matter now. I see the future. I'm moving forward. I can't explain it all. It doesn't matter. I can't explain it all. It doesn't matter. I can't explain it all. It doesn't matter. I can't explain it all. It doesn't matter now. What if life had no meaning other than life? It doesn't matter. What if the pain was a process over 2 lives? It doesn't matter, and all the words and the tears meant nothing to us. It doesn't matter now. I see the future. I'm moving forward. I can't explain it all. It doesn't matter. I can't explain it all. It doesn't matter. I can't explain it all. It doesn't matter. I can't explain it all. It doesn't matter now. Life has the meaning that you give. Love's the binding force that sets it free. And this is all you need to know. As above and so below. I can't explain it all. It doesn't matter. I can't explain it all. It doesn't matter. I can't explain it all. It doesn't matter. I can't explain it all. It doesn't matter
So, yeah. Hi. Hi, everyone. The Techno Man remix with a little bit of live messing around, going into my instrumental. So, hi. I have no idea what else we're going to do. I think that's it. I'm going to just hit go and see you later. I'm kidding, of course. I wouldn't do that to you guys. Oh man, I wound up being late. I was trying to get ready, but I got caught up in some research and then the internet went out. A lot of crazy stuff. We got a new Mac in the house and I was trying to load the OS into it and it wasn't behaving, but I'll do that tomorrow morning. But so anyway, I got caught up and then I realized, oh, I think I just have about 15 minutes to go. And then I looked at the clock and it was 8:01 and I was freaking the F out. I'm like, they're going to think I'm not coming. I can't let them down, whatever that means, because I don't even know if this is good enough to even let you down with. So it is what it is. But welcome. I feel good. I hope you feel good. In the next bit, when I play the next, whatever the next thing is, which I have no idea what it's going to be yet. I don't know. Maybe this is like an endless thing. I could bring that in whenever I want. So maybe I will. Maybe I'll bring the drone in on the next mix. But so it's been a great week, a busy week. I mean, not for the world, but in my world, it's been a fairly decent week. I've been working on the releases. I took a step back and reassessed which one should be priority. So I have prioritized the Ascension re-release on Bandcamp. That's going to be the first thing that I really, really hone down throughout the week. My goal is to try to get it done by at least either next week or the following. So I'm going to try to get that one done. And the reason, quite frankly, is because it's the one that I got further along with, which I thought was kind of cool. I didn't expect that was going to be the one I got further along with, but that's the one I've gotten further along with. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm happy about it because some of those songs obviously are strange renditions of the ones and they're all on tape, and and they're old. They're 1986, 88 when I was a young kid. So I think those are kind of the coolest ones to release first. And after that, 19. So aside from that, I've been working really hard to get the NFT stuff done, which was a complete fiasco. And we're going to revisit that tonight. But first, let me say, let's see. I should be looking that way, but of course I never do the right thing when I do this thing, right? But so hi Vega, hi Claudio, hi Mai, Lalo. I'm glad you're here. I have news for you, Lalo, unless you already saw it, and for you as well, Vega. Joe Hernandez is here. Kevin Jones, Ian. How do you say? Oh, angered. I like that. Hello. On YouTube, TMT Mixes. Julian is here. Nice to see you here. Said that already. Kathy, you're here. Jared Joseph join. I don't know who that is, but says, see you in El Paso. It will be my first A-Box show. Oh, wow. It'd be amazing if you could play Soul on Fire. Because it's your first show in El Paso, maybe I will. JP Knights, hey, I have news for you too. I hope you saw my message. It's funny how I know so many of you on different platforms. But anyway, nice to see you, Mark, Kenny, Emilio, thank you. Oh, and Emilio, thank you so much for today. Our phone call, I was able to do everything I needed to do, and now I'm a master at it. I could do it all day long. So I'm really grateful for that phone call today. But we'll get into that in a minute. So I guess the news from last week was that all the NFTs that were part of the 12-inch got claimed on the day that the drop went live, all the free ones. And it kind of bummed me out because there was no way to make these things non-public in a way that I could have, let's say, 300 people who bought the album go and get their free NFT. It just I wasn't able to do it that way. So what I thought I would do was that I would lock them up in a drop that was secret. I wasn't going to post it, and that everyone was going to be able to get them when I finally told everyone where they were. Unfortunately, either bots found them or other addresses found them and took them all. So all of them are gone. And that was a big tragedy at first because I didn't know how to solve it, but I've solved it, and I've solved it in the coolest way. And I'm really happy to talk about this because it's a rare thing in the NFT world to do what I'm going to do next. So what I'm going to do, or at least it's rare for me, I haven't seen anyone else do it, so I can't take credit for the idea, but I'm definitely thinking this is, again, the right way to do it. So I'm going to fix everything so you can register your NFT, and I'm going to let you guys know on Facebook when you can register the NFT. However, this time, I will be minting the NFT one-on-one to your address in your name with the same number that matches your record. So there is no way on earth anyone can take it, and it's your NFT for real, meaning it's going to have your name on it. It's almost like getting the signed version of an NFT instead of just an NFT. It will have your name. So I don't know if you saw the screenshot I sent you, Fega, but yours is done. I know Lalo's is done. I did it today when I saw I saw a picture of the album that you had, and so I did yours. So all you'll have to do is claim it, and I'll show you guys how to do that this coming week. It'll be all settled. It's going to be easy. And after that, I will be able to mint certain NFTs that are done specifically for a person, which is kind of cool. And if you're wondering if that means I'm going to have to mint 300 NFTs for the 12-inch by hand, 1-to-1, you're absolutely right. And if you think I'm going to, Fega, yours is funny. Did you see that I put that on yours? Did you see that in the description? I put yours is 18 or 81, depending if you hold it upside down. Which means I'm going to have to do the same thing for whoever has 81 or 18 if you hold it upside down. But the good news is I won't have to do a lot because it's very easy to do, to get in there and do it. It's just a few lines of code I have to add. And so I can do it no problem. In an hour, I can probably get like 50 of them done if I have to. So it's not that bad. Plus, it gives me an opportunity to really get more personal with the person. In other words, it's going to be kind of cool to be able to have you guys know that I was the one that minted your NFT. I mean, I hope that's cool. I don't know if it is cool, but that's kind of how I'm going to start doing them in the future when I do limited editions and things like that. So I think that'll be an interesting foray into it. And so this morning, I was trying to still figure this stuff out, and I called Emilio and his friend Louis. We talked about different ways of doing it, and they managed to school me in the right direction. And after that, I was able to do it. So to answer your question on Facebook, Wendy, yes, I will be able to mint an NFT directly to you in your name of this collection, and it will match the number that's on your record or your CD or both. So that's going to be pretty awesome. So, and you guys won't have to do much other than give me your addresses when that time comes. But I'll iron it all out this weekend. By Monday, I'll make that stuff live. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, And another way you can start is if you have the vinyl or the CD and it has a number on it, take a picture of it, post it on Instagram, post it on Facebook. I will find you. You can tag me on it. And that's one funny way that I will hunt you guys down. It'll be funny. So you guys are so funny. So while you guys are talking about the Astros 5-0, I can see that's awesome. So there was a game. So JP says, this is a cool idea. Have to beat the NFT pirates. Yeah, but it's actually like something I honestly, JP, it's something I wanted to do when we were first doing it. We decided that the work was going to be too much. Didn't delve further. And it turns out that this automated way of doing it that we hoped would work didn't work at all. Whereas the one-to-one works. No, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry about you guys talking about baseball. I think it's awesome. It's going to lead into my little next segment. So let's see if my modular is playing still. Oh, it is. So I'm going to play something that's coming off tape. This is someone taking over me, but this is the Animus mix that I made. And we'll kind of lead into it. And that'll be the third, whatever, song.
Camera, see it take a picture. Look at the image of my fragile face. I'm not the man that I used to be. Someone has taken over me. He uses my hands, he uses my eyes, but he's not the person that I want to be. Someone taking over me, and he's in control. There's someone taking over me, and he's in control. I want to run, I need to escape. I want to run, I need to feel like myself. Look in the horizon, the sun is falling downward. My images of pain will coexist. Look into my eyes, see they're not my eyes. Older and colder they become. They used to see the world, they used to see the beauty. Now they only gaze upon decay. There's someone taking over me, and he's in control. There's someone taking over me, and he's in control. Look into the factory, feel its breath on you. Cornered in a vacuum of what we call existence. What is it worth to us all? The person that I have inside will bury me alive, but I've got to get some air before I have to die. There's someone living inside of me, and I can't resist him. There's someone living inside of me, and I can't get away. There's someone living inside of me, and I won't get away. There's someone living
That's funny. Oh, that's so funny. I tried to do something with the FM, but it wouldn't work at that moment. At the moment that I needed it to, it didn't work. Yeah, that's not the real one, the real one-off tape. That's one that I was doing a dub mix when I was doing a live DJ set that got broadcast on Radio Flom. But I kind of liked it, so I thought I'd use it for tonight. Um, so I don't think that version would make Ascension, but it might show up. That the real one may show up. We'll just say that it might. It might, Rabbit, it might. But since you guys were talking about baseball, it kind of sets me up for this next bit. So yeah, NFTs for the 12-inch and the CD, don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. Each of you are going to get a signed one. It's going to be awesome. You can see the one I made for Fega already and see how it appears. It has your name on it in the edition of your album, so it's kind of cool. It took a load off of me to get that done because I didn't want to let anyone down, and I wanted you guys to have something that was completely different than everybody else's and that was more special, and I didn't know how to make that happen the way that I wanted to, and thank goodness that I called Emilio today and we kind of ironed it out because he pointed me in the right direction. And then after poking around, I realized something. So actually, I will have to call you at some point and fill you in on some secret stuff I found that makes that process easier. Maybe I'll make a video about it, but it is easier. I have notes. Sorry. So while we were watching an Angels game over here 2 days ago, we saw that there was an actual crypto advertisement on the game itself. So basically, an exchange called FTX, I guess, is the official sponsor of the baseball thing. Because I don't really watch. I just kind of listen as everybody else is watching and they just scream and I'm like, what? So that's usually what happens when they watch baseball. But what I thought was rad was that we saw this crypto exchange and everybody got excited. So what it wound up being is that this exchange called FXT, they're going to do NFTs straight on the exchange, which is very interesting to me. And this week we found out that, yeah, Ira, I'm going to talk about that too. It's funny. I read your chats and my brain goes blank, I swear, which is fine because we're hanging out, which is a good thing. But anyway, so this exchange named FXT, FXT.us, I believe it is. Don't quote me on the link until I'll post the links when I post this video to the stuff we talked about. But anyway, yeah, I'm not a sports guy either, Fega. It's just that when they watch, I kind of sit in the background and do my own thing, but I can tell when they're excited about stuff. So this exchange is now going to be doing or allowing artists to do NFTs on the exchange itself. And then people who use the exchange can use whatever crypto they want to invest in those NFTs, which is an amazing thing. It's inching closer to an everyday thing. Obviously, the baseball fans are probably going to be first to get into that. But I see a big inroad there for music. So if you're a musician, you should be thinking about this now. But the other good news was that Coinbase, I got on the wait list for Coinbase to also mint NFTs on Coinbase. And so I think that's going to be a really amazing thing too. So crypto, it was a great week for crypto. I don't know if you guys know, but Bitcoin shot up to 66,000. It was the most amazing thing. It's down a little bit, but it's a correction. I'm not at all upset about it. I think it's going to be fantastic. But I know that some of you, when you come to listen to this, or if you're watching this later and you're going like, why is he talking about crypto so much? It's because the NFT side of things appeals to me very much. There's something about it that has me very excited. Um, and I was thinking about this with those one-on-one NFTs. So I'm going to use Fega as an example since he's like, I use Coinbase, but I'm going to use Fega. I'm going to use you as an example, my friend. So you realize that the NFT that I minted, as long as there's an internet, that will be there forever. Forever. And I think that's kind of cool because it leaves a legacy behind. So that's a big deal for me. It's on a green platform, by the way. I'm trying to stick to only the green NFTs, by the way. So I'm only using Wax. I'm using Tezos. And so I think it's going to be, you know, pretty awesome. Ricky Olana Slam on YouTube says, where is your NFT? Actually, it comes with a 12-inch. So it's part of a 12-inch release. So that's that first NFT that I've done officially. The first batch of NFTs are gone. They disappeared. So Joseph asks me, do we have to do coding to manage or claim the NFT? No, technically you don't. The only thing that you're going to need is a Wax wallet. So that you do need because that's where your NFT will be stored. And I will send it to your wallet and then it's yours and you'll have it and it's going to be in your name. And then you'll be able to look at it, resell it, do whatever you want to do with it. But yeah, it's going to be very easy. Basically a wallet, you give me the wallet, I put it in there. And don't worry, that's not like it's not like you giving me a wallet out of your pocket. It's basically like giving me your email and I send you something. So yeah, it's like Fega said, it's nice that you said it that way. That's something that I can pass on to my kid who's a fan. Yeah, that kind of thing, So I think it's going to be awesome to do it that way. So yeah, there's no coding involved. You guys don't have to worry about any coding. Leave that to me because that's what I'm going to do all the time. In fact, there's a lot of weird things with NFTs that I'm working on that I tried to learn this week. But I'm excited. I think 100 chats up, depending on what platform we're on. Hold on. Let me find that one. I can't find it now. In other news, so Walmart, of all places, is going to start selling not NFTs, although I bet you they will. I bet you by next year, Walmart will figure out a way to sell NFTs. But Walmart, you can go in and buy Bitcoin now, which is pretty amazing. There's 200 ATMs apparently right now in Walmart where you can walk in, put in your ATM card and basically exchange that for Bitcoin. So talk about craziness. And speaking of Bitcoin, this is going to please Emilio. I am going to be minting some NFTs on Bitcoin's fork called BSV. I'll put that in there. Sorry. No, that's not it. I almost stopped the whole show there. I said show. It's a ticker called BSV, which basically is an on-chain NFT, meaning that it really will live on forever as long as that exists. So it's another one I'm really interested in. And I joined another one of those. Just so you know, I don't like to talk about this part a lot because then people are going to go looking and then they're going to realize there's nothing there. So there's no NFTs to be found in most of these sites, but I'm literally on about 25 of those NFT sites now where I've actually joined in. And it's basically to reserve the name NPOP. But what's awesome is that, yeah, I get to try things out. And so I'm kind of getting really into it. And I'll tell you, man, the music side is going to start creeping into it. So at any rate, it's exciting for me. It's a different aspect of the art that I get to share. And I'm going to play something now because I've talked long enough. And since I see that Sean Kelly's here, and I know you had some engineering chores on the latest Eminent Soul album, which congratulations, by the way, to Eminent Soul for putting out a record. I think that's awesome. I happen to have, it was not planned, but I have a remix that Eminent Soul did that's here. Well, not a remix. It's actually a remake of an Ebox song. And I'm going to play that one next. And I think, yeah, it's still running. But can we get some tonal things? There we go. This is probably going to be a chain wreck, but this is how we're going to bring the other one in. I don't even want to be on camera because I know this is going to go bad.
And oh, when you feel stranded, don't take for granted this thing called love. And oh, when you feel stranded, don't take for granted this thing called love.
Train wrecks all around, but it's okay. You know why? Because it don't matter. It's just a stream. Although I kind of like, I just want to have this like running all night. You know, it's ever evolving, right? And so, ever evolving things make me happy. So this is another reason that I want to get into the NFT thing. So this week, I was studying, it's funny. So I have to explain this to people who think I'm a coder. I'm not a coder. I can't code worth crap. However, what I am good at is I am good at circuit bending. And I used to do it with instruments, but I also do it with code. So one thing that I got good at was to be able to go into like how, let's say, an HTML or a PHP file is put together. And I learned how to identify certain aspects and change them randomly. And I always change them with numbers that appeal to me. Believe it or not, I do it in the weirdest way. And then whatever the result is, that's the code. But one of the things that I tore apart and I learned how to do was this sort of generative art thing, which I was working on. And if I keep working on it, I think what's going to happen is I'm going to have a painting in there that's basically going to change every single time I open it. And by the math that I did, I think I'm going to wind up with about 9,000 variations of this one painting. And so I'm planning to do that kind of stuff. A lot of weird generative stuff, but at the same time, all the physical art and all that stuff too. So, and some of it might just be experimental, strange films that are only 10 seconds long with just weird music in the background. Stuff that you kind of put on and just leave in the room. So it's not just anything box stuff. It's going to be just weird stuff. So anyway, so today, look, just to give you an idea, I woke up this morning and we were just testing we were trying to test the laser printer. And I wanted to test, and it was not just testing the laser printer. Let me explain. I bought toner for the laser printer and I was putting it in there and I was just trying to test things out, run some test pages. But I wound up printing out something that I was working on for Ascension, which was the black and whites. And I wound up colorizing it by hand with paint and then just ink. And then I don't know, I was messing around. So here's examples of the stuff I do in my kitchen when I have nothing else to do. I don't know if you can see it, but it's always awful looking at these things on camera. So I was working on these really weird abstracts. So this week I photographed all the black and white scratchboard that I ever had that were part of that Ascension period, including the first cover of the cassette. I'm going to scan also the cassette and the outer covering of it because I want that to be inside the PDF. And every single, well, I won't say that every single piece that's in there is going to be NFT'd, but there's going to be a lot of NFTs to collect. So it'll be fun. So that's going to be the Ascension thing. And with all the old demos and things like that. So I think that'll be cool. But also, I'm going to try to see if I can digitize a video or two from that era and stick it in the Bandcamp page. So they'll be forever in there. But my thing, the reason that I've been thinking a lot about NFTs is I have to tell you about a drive that I took. A couple of years back, when my daughter moved to Kansas City, we were driving. And actually, I require the music for this. Not planned. But it kind of sets it up. So, we were on the freeway. We were just passing Arizona. And we were on this really, really beautiful road. And I saw this really, really amazing, beautiful house. And it wasn't like a house like you would say, oh, a millionaire lives there. It wasn't that type of house. It looked like a little house in the prairie type house. And it was in the distance, and there was a nice little lake around it. And we decided to just stop and look at it. And both of us at the same time were struck with this idea of being mortal. In other words, you know, that moment when you cease to exist, what happens? You know, what is the case? And I think both of us were really emotional, especially me, because I was driving her to her new home. And it was one of those moments where I just thought about like all the different things that I wanted to leave behind for people to find. And so what I like about the NFT thing is the idea that these things live no matter how my estate gets settled, whether recordings disappear and, someone chooses not to release them, where my notebooks will wind up. I kind of have an idea of like who I want to be those custodians. And, but it's that feeling like I want to have some work that lasts, that can stay as long as there's an internet at least. And the blockchain kind of gives me that, because even anythingbox.com could disappear one day and be gone. And so, or iTunes and all that stuff, that could just go away, or the master files change hands. And so I thought that there had to be some way of doing something that would last on the internet forever. And my first choice, believe it or not, was to create a weird page that would be archived by the Wayback Machine. And that was my first idea. That was my idea of like, quote, staying immortal. Sorry. But, I knew that's not it. So once the blockchain started to get into my psyche, I realized that was the way. That was the way to kind of stick around for a long, long time. And who knows, maybe it's just vanity thinking that way, that I can stay alive in some way. But I'm really into it. And so what I think is going to happen is I'm going to really, really work on these things. So it means more to me than just, quote, NFTs are hot. It's none of that. I thought it was great when I found out about them. And I think it's fantastic that they're catching on. But for me, it's more of like sticking around a little longer, But I don't know what the heck you guys are talking about. You guys are funny. Oh, Jim's here. Nice. Hi, Jim. Yeah, I just played Jubilation. And congratulations, by the way. I will be picking up the record this weekend. So yeah, just be sure. I will definitely be picking it up. Yeah, mortality. So, because I just dragged everyone down, I think we need a demo. So here's one that may show up on Ascension. It is technically a worth demo, but I think one version or two may show up on Ascension, because I think this belongs more with Ascension than it belongs with Worth, at least in this juncture. I could change my mind, but we'll see. So I give you the World Without Love rehearsal tape.
You heard me say our world is everything. I would be dreaming of living quietly. And if I heard you say the world's too cold to touch, I could change your mind with just a kiss. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? In a world without love. In a world without love. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? In a world without love. Do we feel the pain of our neighbors' hearts? And do we understand the human mind? And if we did, would it make us live together in this lonely world? In this lonely world, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? In a world without love. In a world without love. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? In a world without love.
I forgot it cuts off like that because it's a rehearsal, of course. Oh my God, that's so funny. Ah. And no, do not bring up that creature because it's still loose. It's still loose in here somewhere. It hasn't shown up. Mai says, I got stung again yesterday, Claude. You got stung again? By a bee? Was it a bee? Ah. Twice by the same little bee. Ouch. Ah. I know it doesn't count, but I killed a mosquito, and he had a full tummy when I killed him. So it was like splat, and then there's blood on me. Ah, Ira. I won't say what you just wrote, but yes, it's somewhere in here still. Or it managed to get out. I'm hoping that it's not going to be one of those things where one day I go in there to go do some wiring underneath the studio and, aha. But needless to say, I forgot where we were. Daiso. Do you guys know Daiso? The Japanese version of a Dollar Tree. So we saw at Daiso that they had a mechanical roach about yay big that looked just like the real thing. And so apparently this thing runs around. It was in a package. She's like, I should buy it. And I was like, you do not buy that, because if you buy that and you play that joke on me, you will regret it. So apparently, yeah, Daiso has these little roaches that you get, and they, I don't know why you would want them, because it looked ugly as F, but I don't understand why you would want that. A spider I can see. So Fega says, have you ever had tacos de chicharrón? Queso, banana on a And oh my God, that sounds great. I would want that now. Jeez Louise, what are you doing? You guys are going to make me hungry. Oh my gosh, that sounds so good. Oh my God. Anyway, so gonna bring up NFTs one more time. Oh, thank you, Dustin. Um, someone last week had actually I shouldn't say someone because it was more than one person. When I go back on the old chats from the last stream, someone said mint on Cardano, and I had kind of given up on Cardano for NFTs completely. But I was curious because two people had then DM'd me and said, "Why aren't you minting on Cardano?" And I looked into Cardano, and sure enough, there was a site that I had joined a while back that wasn't quite ready, and now it is. So I can mint on Cardano and Polygon and Bitcoin BSV, Tezos, Wax. So I'm in for a long time. So, yeah. And it'll start. I mean, I've been like slow burning, but I just, So, JP says, will I be streaming a Halloween edition? That's a good question. I'm not sure. That would be next week, isn't it? That would have to be next week, I think. Jason on YouTube is asking, did you ever play with Red Flag back in the day? Yeah, actually, a lot of people don't know this, but we saw Red Flag in New York City, and we got to meet their manager, and we gave him a demo tape before we actually came out to California. And later, their manager, he was the owner of, just trivia here, Red Flag's first manager was also the owner of, now I lost it. My brain just went, and it's just gone. The Lizard Lounge. So yes, he was the owner of the Lizard Lounge in Dallas. And we wound up playing a show with Red Flag, and one of the coolest experiences I had, this is a non-Red Flag experience, but it was when we played with Red Flag, was that we went into their manager's office because he was the one hosting the show, and he pulled out the demo tape out of the drawer that he had. He still had it. And awesome stuff, man. Awesome stuff. Oh man, you people. Taurus, you saying that you're eating tostadas de mariscos. Yeah, man, all of that sounding great right now. But yeah, Naive Art was an amazing album. We actually got to go to the label they were signed to at the time and visit there before we were signed to Epic. We kind of bumped heads a little bit when it comes to Red Flag. But it came later, and it's like I don't hold animosity anymore to anything that ever happened. But it's a funny story, but we actually came to nearly blows at one show over MP3s. But this is it's interesting that this story is being brought up because, it was called Enigma. Their label was Enigma. So first disclaimer, love Red Flag, no animosity whatsoever. This is not a diss. It has nothing to do with putting them down in any way. But when the MP3 stuff started happening, and I'm talking about MP3s now, yep, that old, we were really into them, and we were starting to give stuff away. And Red Flag was in the camp with all the other musicians who were very against MP3s, and downloads and anything of the sort. So, we kind of got into an argument at a show because they were like, "You're helping the thieves," and I remember Paul was wearing an MP3 .com shirt, and yes, MP3s aren't the best sounding thing in the world, but the idea that you could give music to people that didn't have access to it, that was the big deal for us. It wasn't so much like, let's sell a song for $1 and, all this other stuff that was going on, or let's, steal. It had nothing to do with all that. Yeah, the home taping is killing the music biz argument, right? Exactly. So for us, it was like, we can now give fans who may be living in a different country who don't have access to the records, but we can send them these free things. So to us, it was something that was really special. So we totally embraced it. Hence, I like new technologies. I like things that fall on the wayside. And look how much it's changed. I mean, I know there's a lot of people out there that are going to say, well, I don't like the way MP3s sound. But to be honest, when you get, 256 and up, they're awesome. 320 kilobits a second sounds pretty darn good. And it's awesome having an entire library of every record I've ever owned on my phone, so that when I get in my car, I just plug it in and, off I am on an adventure. So there's a lot of good things that came out of that technology. But of course, we lost a few things too, but I digress. It's what happened with Red Flag, and that's where our division was. And for a while, it was really like that. But, they kind of got it. You know what I mean? They finally, I think, started to get it, because obviously you can find Red Flag stuff on iTunes. So eventually that happened. So that was it. But when we did tour with them, in the very early days, let's say 1990, from 90 to 93, we did quite a few shows, and they were all fun. And they were great to hang out with. So it was a lot of fun. I like those guys. We lost one of them. So, rest in peace, Mark. We're good. Don't worry. Back in the day, you knew me from the band Random Access. We were on Spot Records. You'll have to email me, Taurus. Send me some stuff. Yeah, Well, it just goes to show you that life is short. It's definitely short, So, make the best of it, You got to make the best of everything. So even though a lot of people will say we're getting onto dark times, and I would agree that there are some dark times coming, I'm going to make the best of them, the best that I can. I think that's important for us to do the best that we can. And as Radiohead likes to say, the best you can is good enough. Do the best you can, Anyway, let's play something else from an old tape. So this one probably won't be on anything unless I kind of make it a secret or something. Because this particular song, I know I've played it before. I think I played it once on the stream. This would have been, sorry. Brain has to focus here so I can tell this story right. You can tell none of this is scripted, right? Right? It's so obvious. No scripting. So when Living in Oblivion came out, there was a promo that was going to come out, and we needed a B-side for it. And we had recorded a B-side for Living in Oblivion, the single. And For some reason, that never saw the light of day. And the master that housed that single is gone, or may not be. You know, you gave me an idea. I'll tell you what I'm thinking when we come back, but I'll play the song. The song is called Pieces. It was supposed to be the B-side to Living in Oblivion, but it never actually saw the light of day. And the only existing version of the song is the demo tape version, which is really bad because this one came off of a tape that was pretty bad. So you're going to hear some dropouts and all that kind of stuff, but it's a tape. But it was a cool song to be on the back of Living in Oblivion. I think that the record company, when they heard this song, thought that it was too, what's the word? They thought it was too industrial. That's what they thought. Too industrial. Here it is.
In our history, the broken vows, oh mystery, delusion, confusion, draped in evolution. The playground has been violated, torn apart by excavation and degradation, degeneration, circumnavigation. There's more to life than meets the eye. Forever, forever. There's more to life than meets the eye. Forever, forever. To make the perfect world. The perfect world was in the past before us. Yes, before us. Technology is in our hands, the sweaty hands that know the simple mercy for ecology. There's more to life than meets the eye. Forever, forever. Smile like the soldier, smile like a soldier. Forever. There's more to life than meets the eye. Forever, forever. There's more to life than meets the eye. Forever.
It's a funny track. It was funny because somewhere maybe there's a show that was recorded where this was played. I mean, there's an old Patterson VHS that I played where we played the song, but when we played with the Red Flag, and this is why this is an interesting side note to the story. When we played with Red Flag in Houston, we were allowed to play 2 songs, and one of the ones we played was that song with its new mix and everything. And so it was awesome to have. I just don't know where the hell it is. We've never been able to find it. But as I was playing this, an idea came to me. Turns out, John St. James has some of the old master tapes, and I think I'm going to have to bug him for it and see if he's got it, because if he does, he would be the only person that has it, and that's kind of interesting in a different realm of experience. By the way, I've been talking to him, and we're good. We're good. I'm going to actually visit him at his studio pretty soon. Because I've got some shows coming up in Houston and Dallas. And we were talking about Stacy, of course, Stacy Q. And so I thought it was going to be fun to see her there. And yeah, we were talking about Sony and all that stuff and all this stuff, And so yeah, just now you guys gave me this idea. I'm pretty sure if anyone has that master, he might have it. So I'm going to have to hit him up. John, if you're listening or if you're watching tonight, I'm going to be talking to you about pieces. We need to find that master, man. I think that's something we need to have. So, anywho. So yeah, so that was supposed to be the B-side to Living in Oblivion. And luckily, it's one of those things that just happens, So who knows? So yeah, exactly, Taurus. It could be in the vaults of Syntheside. It could be, although by then that was folded. So it was in the vaults of Sony. But they gave we have access to all the master tapes. So who knows? Maybe something's going to come of that. But another thing we talked about was the possibility of the original piece art being found and also turned into an NFT of sorts. I said to him that it would be really funny, and it's, excuse my vanity here, but I told him that it would be really, really funny if we were able to NFT the cover, the original cover of Peace, and sell it for $2 million while Sony was apparently still in the red and hasn't paid us a red cent. I thought that would be funny. I think that would be some sort of karmic justice of a sort. So if I get my hands on that cover, on that original painting, we're going to do this. We're going to do it. So anyway. But it's fun listening to the old tapes. And I don't know that version that you just heard will wind up on Ascension because it's kind of messed up. But we'll see. We'll see that. So feel free to put it in the chat or whatever that's the ones you want, if you want them. When I put all the timestamps and all that stuff, you guys, has Sony ever paid me anything yet? No. I'm not mad, but no. No, they have not. So that's why I thought it would be funny if we NFT'd the original painting that I made, and somehow it made more money than the Peace album did. I think that would be funny. Oh, Byron, thank you. I don't know that you can. It's definitely dropouts, and I mean, you can hear the mangling. I kind of hit it. I was able to hide it in a funny way, but I think that that particular mix is pretty destroyed. But for posterity's sake, who knows? Maybe I'll NFT it. Maybe that's the one that I'll put on the on the blockchain just to live forever. But I think it would be funny. Don't you think it would be funny if the original painting that graces the cover of Peace was sold for like $2 million while Sony is, quote, still in the red with the album that they've never paid us a red cent on? I think that would be good. So I think I'm going to go for that. I think we're going to try it. I'm going to convince John to do it. I'm going to do it. But okay. What else we got? Shoot, I talked about everything. Now I'm screwed. Well, thank goodness it's almost that time. So I'm going to play. So funny. So let's see. What do I've got? What did I have? Oh, it's almost time to go. So I'm going to play another one that's going to be on Ascension. I've got a much nicer version of this song, or whatever it is. But this one's kind of special because it's the one that came right off the reel. So I'm going to play the B-side. So this is the B-side to Living in Oblivion, the 12-inch, before we were signed to Epic, and we only had 3 copies of this single. It was like something we pressed and we would give to DJs to play. And on the backside was this song. And much to my chagrin, at the Pipeline, I actually heard this being played more than once. And it was the coolest thing to hear this on a dance floor. But obviously a much better version than this one. But this is the one I'm going to play. This is called Time to Go.
And you know we must have this clang and rattle. We must, hour by hour, relentlessly. Then a thought came to me. And you know we must have this clang and rattle. We must, hour by hour, relentlessly. Then a thought came to me.
Yeah, I brought that back. It's still making music by itself. Yeah, it's so awesome. Just keeps going. I have these funny complex instruments that sometimes I just play around with for a while, and then I go do other things in the house, and I just let them play. So I could be making those videos where you just see a modular, but you see a plant in the background, and it's kind of like just kind of swaying a little bit. I could do those, um, but I won't. And if I do, they'll be weirder or creepier. But yes, that was the B-side to the original 12-inch that we recorded in the music room, straight to reel live sequencing. And yeah, that will be on Ascension because the original demo tape basically was supposed to have it, and we made it shorter. Now, of course, it's going to be a lot longer, and it'll have a lot of different things on there that you wouldn't expect to find anywhere. So that's kind of cool. So I dig that. So I'm getting lost. I'm getting lost in the music. And when I get lost in the music, I just want to play stuff instead of just, and when I say play stuff, I mean like I want to turn on everything and start just messing around. I'm not a YouTuber, even though I want you to subscribe. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not. I wasn't made for this sort of thing. Which means maybe next week I'll do a rehearsal instead of anything else, so that we'll do a Halloween party rehearsal. That's what we'll do. Unless I'm going to some sort of Halloween party, which could happen. I don't know. Are we having Halloween this year? Or is it canceled again? I don't even know. I don't know. All right, I'm going to play a song. This is when you know I'm losing it, when I can't remember. Yeah. It's late. But anyway, no, honestly, in all honesty, all kidding aside. So next week, yeah, I think I'll do a rehearsal, like a vocal rehearsal, and we'll sort of make it Halloweenish. I don't know how that will be. Maybe I'll wear something scary. I don't know. Maybe I'll sing with a mask on. That's scary. So let's play a song. This is a song that we were thinking about putting on the Worth album. So technically it could be a Worth demo, but it was also going to be part of an EP that basically we wound up never recording, but I always liked this song. And it's a pretty old tape, but this is from 1991. And it relates to, it's so funny. I guess we're on inadvertently, and this is how life, this is the mystical side of things. I think everything is connected because I just realized that this also is attached to the Red Flag story. I know exactly when this was recorded now. 1991. I drove back from Houston to California after the gig with Red Flag, that first gig that I was telling you about. And on the way back, basically, Living in Oblivion was a big deal. It was playing on the radio, so I heard it all the way back home, which was a really big thrill. And that's like something that cannot be replaced. That memory cannot be replaced by anything. It's not so much that I heard it for the first time on the radio. I heard it for the first time on the radio on every town that I passed on my way back. And that was just amazing. And the only thing that made me sad was that I had driven back not that this was a bad thing, but I had driven back with two of Donya's friends, which I wound up really liking both of them. But Donya and Paul weren't there, so they didn't get to hear that aspect of it the way I did. So that always made me a little sad. And so that's how this song came out. So I'll play that tape. And then I'll come back. And we'll talk some more. This is called You and I.
And now
I forgot that that was there. I didn't want to stop it, so I just let it play. But yeah, that's the part two. So yeah, so that was so sorry. So what was interesting as I was listening is that yeah, that was an Emacs, a Juno, and an ESQ, and that was it. Doing everything. And that was the first time that I ever played with an Emacs, which it was a really cool thing to have around. So I can't claim this because I know that Red Flag had their own Emaxes. I know this because I met them and obviously we played together and I saw them. However, the first Emacs that they used might have been this particular Emacs because it came from John's studio. I borrowed it for a while and it was at my place for a time. So it's very possible that that was the one they used. So it's really strange that all these little connected things brought us to Red Flag. Really, really odd in a strange way. Just me picking the songs and that I picked almost seemingly without thinking. And then the questions that led us on that journey. So one could say that things are not interconnected, but man, you'd be hard pressed to change my mind on that. I think everything is connected. So having an Emacs led me to eventually owning an Emulator 3. So I had an Emulator 3 for a long time, which has its own story. But what's funny to me is that on neither the Emacs nor the emulator did I do any sampling. Those were the only devices that were samplers, where I actually did not sample anything. I would edit the patches, but I never sampled. I didn't start sampling until I got the MPC. Now, of course, I love sampling everything, but I just think it's funny that we never actually used them as what they were supposed to be used for. In fact, funny trivia, on the diaries, page 1, the Emulator 3, the entire only job it had for that entire album was bass. I played all the bass guitars from the diary off of the $15,000 emulator that we had. Although ours wasn't 15 grand, we scored. But still, it was just funny using that giant piece of equipment just to make one sound. So, but yeah, Emu was great. I still love Emu. But it's that time. We've come to the end, my friends. And it's been fun. It's been very introspective. So you see what journey we went on. We went from NFTs to mortality, friends that passed, and the way that all these kinds of seemingly random events always seem to coalesce into something. So I'm a firm believer of it, I am a firm believer of it. So, Claudio says, I sampled like crazy when Sound Blaster added the Emu chip. Yeah, no, a lot of people, it's emulator 4K sampling keyboard, Jim. And you guys had an emulator too. Yeah, no, those are all iconic machines. I love them. I had a bunch of their rack modules. This is all before software. I had a lot of different pieces of hardware. So I did actually own 2 Emus. The Proteus 1 and 2, I think we had. So, but anyway, all the tech nerd talk. But I just wanted to say that, life is short. I want you guys to live it to the fullest, no matter what's happening in the world. I know it's difficult, but do what you got to do. Make those dreams come true. Work. Make it happen. Treat each other well. And I will see you next week. I don't know what we're going to do, but I'll see you next week. So I get asked about this. I'm going to end with this track. And then I'm saying goodnight with this track. But it's a short one too. A lot of people started to get wind of this track, and this is only because it was I don't know how this one got leaked out, but this started to get leaked. This particular version got leaked out a long time ago, and people on occasion will say, "Hey, do you have this version of the song that's called, This Is The Song?" If you don't know what it is, you'll know soon enough. I'm not trying to be funny. I think I'm just tired and hungry, and all the talk about tacos and pizza and mariscos is just driving me nuts right now. So yes. But, anyway, so this is from a tape. We did re-record this, but this is the first one that's on the tape. And so this was supposed to be on our first demo, And it was on our first demo that we gave to the record company, but it wasn't on the first demo that fans had. So when Ascension comes out, this will probably be on it. Although I think I put it on something else more recently, but it doesn't matter. It could show up twice. But anyway, with this, I'm going to say goodnight. And I'm going to turn on the overhead. Even further out. Nice. And I'm going to say goodnight by playing a track called This Is My Oblivion.
So I ask again, am I so alone and full of pride to never speak out? This is my world.
Good night.
This is my world. You can't hide the pain. I can see it scrawled on your empty face, and I feel the hurts. It's in the words you say they make me want to scream out to the world for taking life for granted. You are by my side when I turn to hear you cry. I am so afraid of living in oblivion. I am so afraid of living in
I'm part of it. Can't you see it?